You can go now.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right, what up, guys?
What up?
That's it. That's my intro.
That's your intro?
What up, everybody? Welcome back to the STLEmpire Podcast. I am Nikko, and this is Ben. Say what up, Ben.
What up, Ben?
There you go. He's got his lotion next to him, as always, with every episode, with a new Robert Thomas auto card. Flex it, Ben. Flex it.
There you go.
Oh my God.
So cool. I got it off
Future
of
Buffalo
Whatnot.
Saber.
No, he's not. Well, speaking of Buffalo, Nico,
Don't bring it up.
before we jump into that, hope you're doing well. Man, yeah.
Another Polly's Promise fucking rubbing the dirt. Here's the next Polly's Promise. It's going to be Vegas versus Montreal.
Ooh. You got Montreal losing, right?
I don't care. So here's what I have.
We don't need Canada winning a cup. That's the thing.
Here's the spiel. I put a bunch of futures in, right? A lot of futures. So I have $25 for Jack Eichel to win the con, $25 for Mitch Marner to win the con, $25 for Lane Hudson to win the con, $25, $100 for Nathan McKinnon to win the con, $25 for Logan Stankoven to win the con.
That would be a massive hit, the Stankoven.
Yeah, this was like a few days. This was Fridays when I placed all these, so it's not like it's like plus 20,000. I think the highest one is like plus, I don't know, 3,000 or something. So, obviously I went with the safe one with McKinnon. He was only plus 190 for $100, just so like if I lose and it's not as bad. I bet the under today. Ben looks frozen right now, unless he's just looking. Oh no, Jesus,
I was just
you're
looking.
A statue. Holy shit!
I was just like totally off in La La Land there for a second.
But won a few bucks today. Put $50 on the under 5.5 for today's game.
I can't help but like imagine like myself like just staring off into space and then looking like I'm frozen. I'll do it again. You don't know if I'm frozen or not.
I can't tell. But Ben, how's life treating you, buddy? How's the vibing?
Life's doing good. You know, obviously we mentioned the Buffalo Sabres loss. That was a little disappointing. But other than that, things are going well. Actually, fun news. Plan a trip up to St. Louis here coming up within like the next month or so, less than a month. So we're going to catch some Cardinals games. Okay, are you actually coming up there?
I don't have no money. I'm poor. I'm broke.
Yeah, but anyways, I guess let's just go ahead and jump in today's topics. What do you want to start off with? I know we talked a little bit about what we wanted to do prior to us starting the recording. What is it that appeases your mind?
Can you? Okay, because I'm pretty intrigued. So Ben, before we kind of plan everything before, and we just go crazy.
Kind of.
So Ben reached out, said the Bleacher Report did a mock draft today, and then it was very interesting to see what the Blues picked, and we were talking about it, and I don't know. He said it's interesting, and we waited. We were talking, and we were like, okay, let's just wait towards the podcast to talk about it. So Ben, Bleacher Report mock draft. You want to go through 1 through 11 for me?
Let's do it. So this is Bleacher Report. Shout out Hannah Stewart over on Bleacher Report for making this mock draft. Although that being said, with the first overall pick, I think it's a no-brainer in this situation. Gavin McKenna to
Ivar
Toronto.
Stenberg. Oh. Oh, maybe it's not a no-brainer.
Did you actually think Stenberg?
No.
I was gonna say there's no way. Number 2, they have San Jose taking Chase Reed, defenseman from Salt Mary Greyhounds. Goodness, cannot talk today.
As they should.
3rd overall, Vancouver takes Ivar Stenberg out of the SHL.
Yep.
This is a fun one. If I'm a Chicago fan, I think I'd like this one. Caleb Malhotra going fourth overall. Definitely a high riser, especially after his performance in the OHL playoffs and just the second half in general. Fifth overall, they have the New York Rangers. Shout out your New York Rangers, buddy. They have them taking Carson Karls
You know what's
from
funny is
the
we
WHL.
we texted this morning and he was saying like it seems that New York Rangers are on the Corrals train. It's like
Yeah,
really? And we were
he's a
talking
good
about Verhoff.
defenseman.
Yeah, we were talking about Verhoff too. And he was like, dude, he's dropping right now. I'm like, I mean, yeah, skating's rough, but he's still, NCAA. But Corrals today just committed to the UND to play with
Yeah,
Verhoff.
yeah, I saw
So
that. That's insane.
it is. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be really fun to watch.
Well, speaking of Verhoff and potential duo with Corrals and Verhoff, with the sixth overall pick, they have Calgary taking Keaton Verhoff, which I think is a little bit odd considering the fact they already have Perek. Obviously, that could be a 1-2. That could be your first pairing, or that can be your top four right side or right-handed defenseman. It would also be a bit of a project, as you mentioned, still issues with the skating and just defensive abilities overall. Great offensive defenseman. Kind of gives me vibes of like what Logan Mayu was supposed to be before the whole incident of, I guess we're not going to go into detail of that, but
Get into the detail.
no,
I'm
I
kidding.
think you might have to ask him on that.
Oh, Logan! Sorry, not a joke. Sorry.
Oh man. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. What would you think about Calgary taking Verhoff at number 6 overall?
I mean, it's who else would it be there? I mean, Smits. You think they still stick with defensemen? You think you go Smits? Like, I just feel like after Verhoff, I mean, you do have Smits. It's like the tier after that kind of drops because you obviously have McKenna and Ivar like right there neck and neck. I'd even be okay with throwing Reed up in there just because he's been lights out. But then you have that other tier and Mahotra's right there, and I don't know. It's interesting. Like I don't think it's too. I don't think Calgary could go wrong with any pick. I feel like they need so much. So it's just like if you want to
Yeah,
do a 1-2 in the top four, go for it. Go for it.
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean
Absolutely.
they got a lot to work on. So they're a work in progress. I don't think they could go wrong unless it's a bust.
Yeah. That is very, very true. And
Mhm.
with Verhoff having some issues, that could be a potential bust. Any of these guys could be a bust. I mean, let's just be honest here. But Keaton Verhoff seems to be one where um, it's a bit of a project and would need a little bit more time to develop his game before you see him in the NHL. But with
Yeah.
that being said, 7th overall is Seattle. They have them taking Vigo Bjork out of, I'm not even going to, Djurgårdens. I think that's how
Yeah.
you pronounce it,
Don't
over from
even think.
Sweden.
Don't
Um,
even try.
but yeah, they have Vigo Bjork going 7th overall. 8th overall is Albert Smits to the
Yeah.
Winnipeg Jets
Yeah.
from Liga. 9th overall is Tynan Lawrence to the Florida Panthers. That would be a very fun one for them. Definitely, you have your top 6 centers or top 2 centers kind of like figured out already. You already have Lundell. You already have Barkov. So having Lawrence under that kind of level of those level of centers, I mean,
I
he's
think
only going to
Lindell is
get the
due
best.
soon, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be due a pretty hefty contract. I don't know the exact contract he's on, nor do I know what kind of money he would be asking for. He had a career year this year,
Yeah.
despite Florida not having a good year.
I would love for the Blues if they had an opportunity to go after Lundell.
He
Just
is
a
not
young,
due soon.
second line center
Yeah.
that can actually play NHL time, keep him like really competitive.
Yeah.
I just
And
don't know because Florida obviously wants to stay competitive. Maybe it'll be a Bennington trade. Who knows? But that's me
yeah.
playing Xbox right now. I'm sorry.
um Lundell was given a contract of a 5 or no, a 6x5. So 6 years, 5 million a year. Really good for a guy who plays a really, really solid two-way game and scores goals and plays just an underrated game. And then after Tynan Lawrence, they have the Predators taking Daxon Rudolph out of Prince Albert Raiders at the WHL. That would be a good one for them to take. You know, they're kind of in a position where they could make a playoff spot next year, but I don't know. It just seems like they're in the boat with um, teams like the Blues where they're close to contending, but like it's kind of hard to put them in that wild card contending spot only
That team
because
should be contending. I mean, you have UC Saros, you have Roman Yossi, you have Philip Forsberg, you have Ryan O'Reilly, Jonathan Marchessault, Steven Stamkos. Like, I don't know how it's not getting pieced together.
yeah, and especially with them trying to work in a lot of their rookies too, like Martin Kamel and Wood and Weisblad and Svechkov. Well, I guess he isn't a rookie, but all of these younger guys, I'm trying to work them in, and especially with the way that the defense looks, like Shea and Yossi really isn't like the most ideal pairing. Like Yossi's great. Uh, it's no knock on Yossi. It's just you're paying Brady Shea $7 million, and I think that contract kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah. Yeah, that one. Brady Shea used to be really good until he wasn't. All right. For what we waited for, pick number 11 for the St. Louis Blues.
Pick number 11, and I think you'll really like this one. They have the St. Louis Blues taking Ethan Belchetz.
That's okay. That's okay. You know, you've got me on the Bjork grind, and I'm becoming more of a fan of Cullen.
Yeah.
Like a lot more. I just don't. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Do you want me
Belchetch
to
looked
tell you where
fine.
Cullen ended up within the top 32?
Yeah.
He ended up 25th to Montreal,
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
which I think
I
Cullen is a top 20 pick, if
I
anything.
think so too. Maybe we snag him at 15. Who do they have him
Hmm.
at 15? Who are we picking at 15?
Do you want me to do 15 now, just rip off the band aid, or
Yeah,
go
yeah. Just
through the
rip it
rest of them?
off. Fuck
They
everyone
have
else.
us taking center Oliver Suvanto.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, that's why I said it's like interesting. I didn't expect us to be uh, taking a center at that position. A guy that I've kind of liked as time has gone on is Xavier Villeneuve, as well as
Yeah.
Malk Gustafsson, another Swedish defenseman. You know, the Blues are very high on uh, Swedish defensemen, let alone Swedish players in general. So
Yeah.
can't go wrong there. But one pick that I think is probably one of the bigger steals in all of the draft here is Liam Ruck. Or, you know, this is depending on if
Yeah.
this is the exact
WHL, and
order.
he went fucking crazy, right?
Yeah, yeah. With the Medicine Hat Tigers, he
Yeah.
goes 26 to Seattle. Liam Ruck. I think that's just insane value if you're Seattle. If that truly happens, um, you got to be jumping for joy in that situation.
Maybe, but Seattle, Paulie's promise. Seattle signs Alex Tuck to a 8-year, $13 million AAV contract, and they fuck themselves.
13 million. Oh
That was
my
just a joke
gosh.
with my Buffalo buddy at my buddy's house when we were watching overtime.
Man, 13 million is a pretty steep contract for someone that scores 30 goals and gets like 70 points a season. Makes Kyra look even better.
Hey, Jordan.
But speaking of Kyru, there was a question that was asked in the comments of one of our Instagram posts. Um, and we addressed the first part of it, but we didn't really, or actually, we addressed the second part of the question, not the first part. But I'd like to shout out Karthik. And his question is, what is a dream's offseason for the St. Louis Blues?
Hmm. Yeah, you want me
No, yeah, you go, you go.
to. It it's 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 difficult to answer that. Because Ben, what do you think the Blues need?
I think they could use a little bit of everything. If you want me to be completely honest here.
It's tough to get a little bit of everything when they have so many players on this roster. It's just like they and we talk about this time and time again. It's just like they can't sync together. Again, your first line is fine. Second line's butt. Third line is honestly that was better. Keep Bergeron. Keep Bergeron. Keep Jonathan Bergeron. Keep Bergeron. That's one. Keep Bergeron. And pick up a second line center. And if you can find another defenseman out there, like a top 4 defenseman, you could potentially do that. But I think you have that in Lindstein, and maybe Juracek will play a little bit too. So, it's just an awkward spot because the Blues can, like, do they want to wait? Like, do they want to develop Lindstein? Do they want to develop Juracek and like still kind of go towards that retooling route, or do you want to capitalize on what you have in front of you right now and like Thomas, Snuggerud, Holloway, and Kyrou if he sticks around, and Buchnevich and Pareko and Fowler and Hofer and Bennington? Like, they're in this weird middle purgatory spot of like, I personally I don't know which direction they're gonna go, and I don't know which direction would be best. I really, I mean, technically, if we're really using our brain, is strip it. Weirdly enough, strip it, get young. Look at Montreal. Look how young they are, and they're kind of going on a run. Do you think you compete with Colorado, or do you kind of like retool and kind of plan when McKinnon is gonna be fucking 90 years old in a retirement home, and you can be like, okay, I can compete again because McKinnon died. Yay, you know.
Rest in peace.
I just think it's to determine a dream off season, like it's so tough to give an answer when you need to have a stand on something. Like which direction of the Blues are gonna go. And what do you think they need? I personally I can't tell you what they need because I feel like it's a lot. Like, I say second line center, but like, do you wait for Dvorsky? Or can you use him as a piece to go pick up maybe like a Lundell? But like, is that other team willing to give up Lundell? Like, we have to be realistic, and it's really tough. It's really difficult. Um, I hope that the Blues draft all 3 picks. Just build that prospect pool. Maybe send out Kyrou, maybe if you want, but I don't know. It was just a down year from him. Do you really want to sell him low when he had a down year? Or do you want to sell him at all? Like, I understand like that relationship is kind of disconnected, but now we have a full season of Jim, like another full season of Jim Montgomery. Maybe you could find a playmate with Kyrou. You already have your playmates with Thomas. What about the playmate with Kyrou? Buchnevich isn't it? Buchnevich kind of blows. Maybe if you could find a good center to play between, you put Buchnevich on the wing again to play between Kyrou and Buchnevich, then you might have something. And then your third line would be Dvorsky, Bergeron, and Neighbors, which I think is great. And the fourth line, you could just plug and play. Toropchenko has a great motor. You could keep Toropchenko around. As for the fourth line center spot, Jack Finley, I think, did a pretty good job too. I think he's fine. And for the wing, if you want to keep Walker, you can keep Walker. If you want to, you could do whatever for that last spot. It doesn't. In my brain, it doesn't. Maybe we get Kaskamaki coming up, taking a role. Maybe Zach Dean comes up and plays a little bit more too, because we know he had some NHL time.
Dylan Dubé.
Dylan Dubé is a good one too, but I feel like he's not a fourth line player. But we also, the
I think
Blues,
he
if
has
we keep
third
in
line
mind,
potential.
if we keep in mind too, the Blues have to. Like, I just went through a full roster that I think is actually a pretty decent roster, right? The only slot was a second line center. Where does Druin go? We have Jonathan Drouin. How do we move him? Is there going to be a team out there that wants to take him on? Are they just going to wait for the Blues to potentially buy him out? Or are they just like, it's just like, I could go down this big rabbit hole and just keep going deeper and deeper. Like, and I even brought up defensemen. Lindstein playing great with Parayko. That's perfect. Fowler's fine. Mayu stepped up a lot. That's great. Juracek, I think, should get some time. But if Juracek comes up and gets some time, I think he's probably gonna be a top 4 guy. So who's out in the top 4?
I don't even know. It is really hard to say.
Because you have Parayko. You tried trading Parayko. Maybe that gets done. Maybe you trade Parayko for the second overall pick in some sort of package. But we have too many players on this roster that are legit NHL guys. I know that's weird to say, but considering that a lot of our young guys, I feel like are on the cusp. Like we saw, Lindstein proved himself. Otto Stenberg proved himself. I like Stenberg's game. Juracek goes pro, and he had a monster season in the OHL. Very productive. Very productive. He deserves a shot as well. It's just like, man, and Dylan Dubé during this Calder Cup playoffs has been awesome too. It's been awesome. It's just like, God, this team has too many guys. Too many guys. Way too many guys. You got to do something about it. You have to.
Eventually, they're going to make a splash, and whether that be this off season or 2 off seasons from now, I mean, I don't know. It's really hard to say. I totally agree with your point of, they could go pretty much any which way, and it really just depends on what they want to prioritize this off season. Is it them prioritizing still getting youthful and drafting all 3 first rounders? That's a possibility. It 1000% is. That's realistically the most realistic of any situation. Like, that's the most probable of any situation if you're the St. Louis Blues. But you mentioned the name Colton Parayko, and what comes to mind here is that Colton Parayko wants to go out west if a trade were to occur. And, not to get like too deep into trade talks or who is even available, because again, as you mentioned with Lundell, it's a situation where the other team is going to want to, be okay with trading said player. But with that being said, if there was one player that I would target if I'm the St. Louis Blues, it's over from Anaheim, and it's Mason McTavish to be your second line center.
Interesting, and I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all.
And I think you could send Parayko the opposite way. The cap works honestly better in Anaheim's favor. He matches the kind of intensity that this forward group brings, as well as he also fits the age group spot on with some of these guys. He's similar in age to Holloway, Neighbors, Mayu, a little bit older than Snuggerud, only a couple years, but very likable player, solid center, former third overall pick.
Yeah, only 23 years old. You could for sure make that work, especially with you have to sign Trouba, Carlson, Gudis. I mean, you have Jackson Lacombe locked up for the rest of his life, but you actually have, of your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 defensemen that you have listed on the roster right now. Only 3 of them are signed past the season. They have a lot of work to do. I mean, dude, I bet you they're going to try and re-sign Jacob Trouba for cheaper, and they could probably get a good deal for Gudis. John Carlson, I think, is probably going to be gone. I mean, the Ducks have the tools, or they have the assets in order to get something done. I mean, you just extended Granlund to a 3-year, or you signed Granlund to a 3-year deal, right? Sorry, my cat is all over the place.
No, you're good. And not to mention, you mentioned Gudis, Trouba, and Carlson. 2 things with that being said. One, Carlson says that he's not going to take any sort of discount. He wants to cash in on being a free agent. I believe this is his first time ever being a free agent.
Yeah.
Played for Washington his entire career, obviously getting traded. So, I mean, if he's not going to go back to Washington, might as well cash in on the value. Totally understand that.
Yeah.
Secondly, you also have to look at their RFAs. Mintyukov, Zellweger are both RFAs this upcoming offseason. Gauthier, Leo Carlson, those are guys that are due contracts. They're going to need a replacement both defensively and it might cost them a guy like McTavish, or you trade for a guy like Gauthier, or you trade for a guy like Carlson. I highly doubt Anaheim gets rid of Carlson, though. Carlson's such a good player.
Leo?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they should extend him to a $10 million a year deal.
Yeah.
Like extend
And
him, extend Gauthier. You do need to extend these guys, and I would extend every single one of these guys long term. And yeah, Mason McTavish. I mean, he was on the third line, and I think he was scratched for a couple games for the Ducks. But
yes.
$7 million. I mean, you're right, Ben. You do have to pay Leo Carlson big money and Cutter Gauthier. And if you want to stick with Seneca, you're gonna have to. I mean, and you're also paying Frank Vetrano $4.5 million to play fourth line minutes here, and then you have absolutely right now currently nobody on the back end.
Yeah.
This is interesting. So potentially you could see if they wanted to let one of those defensemen walk in free agency and take a trade for Mason McTavish and have one of their very, 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 very like one of their billion prospects that they have take that third line spot. They probably can, like Biaka Bukutuka.
Absolutely. And not to mention, for a trade to Anaheim to get McTavish, I would most definitely include Colton Parayko. I think he fits their timeline well. He fits that John Carlson, well, maybe not John Carlson, but Jacob Trouba role in the sense that he plays lockdown defense and is honestly an underrated point scorer. Obviously, this season, it didn't come to fruition. It just didn't happen. And, you could say the same thing about every player on this team. Nothing came to fruition. But he's a good player. Great defensively. Plays, honestly, one of the best defensive games in all of the National Hockey League. So, and then as I mentioned, the salary cap would be fairly even. Blues would gain $500,000, and you might have to add on to Colton Parayko. But I don't know. It's also the situation of, is that really what the Blues would want in return? Because the trade to Buffalo was Mertka in the first, so they may not even go that situation. Or
yeah, I think
that route.
I think a 1-for-1 trade actually there is fairly fair. I mean, he's a former third overall pick. He's a young guy. He can put up points. Offensively, not totally there, but like I feel like Anaheim does need some defensemen, and if they want to lock someone down long term who's a veteran who has a Stanley Cup, you could go with Colton Parayko, and that's a place he wants to go. I mean, a first in Mertka is a great return, but McTavish has already been playing in the NHL. But it's just like, okay, we have a second line center. We solidify and we keep that. And I think if we do get Mason McTavish, I think that would probably be a really good pairing with Jordan Kyrou and Pavel Buchnevich. I really do think that could potentially work out. And it'd be good. I mean, I know we take in an extra 500 grand, which is all right, but at least for us roster wise, like offensively, we could stay competitive, and then we could have Juracek and Lindstein kind of step up to the plate and everything too.
Yeah,
like
and you still have the financial.
money.
Yeah, exactly. You have the financial freedom to go out and sign someone to fill that Parayko role.
And that doesn't even include if we were to send out Jonathan Drouin to whoever.
Yeah,
maybe that's a trade. Maybe it's Parayko. Maybe it's Parayko and Drouin, so Drouin could take over that third line wing spot. So the Ducks get a top pair defenseman and a middle six winger, and then the Blues get Mason McTavish and maybe like a third round pick or something to make it even. Because I think 2-for-1 for that. It's on our side is not good.
I don't even think that Anaheim needs another NHL forward to come back in return because they have Roger McQueen coming up here soon. So I don't even know if they want to fill that spot at the moment. As well as, I don't know, like, I feel like you could get better value for the $4 million that Drouin is owed. And that's just more salary that they're going to have to take on unless the Blues retain salary. And the Blues hardly ever retain salary on any trades. Like, the only trades that I can remember them retaining salary is whenever they sold at the 2023 deadline.
Yeah,
but that was for
Ryan Raleigh.
Yeah, that was solely for getting a better return, not necessarily having to retain salary to make a trade work, just for them to get a better return. So
yeah.
But yeah, great question there from Karthik. One more question that I thought would be a fun one to talk about because I know we've talked about it just a little bit. Um, this is a question from Brandon. Who's going to wear the C? It's a fun one. Definitely one that, like I said, we've kind of talked about. I don't know if your answer has changed or.
Like, I mean, my heart says Neighbors. My brain? No one yet.
Yeah. And I think
It's
that's the
tough, especially
realistic
if we go in
option.
I mean, the realistic option is going to be either Thomas or Pareko. One of those two guys. One of those two. And I feel like they said with Pareko, but if Pareko gets moved, then it's a different story. It's just like, and I feel like something that they have to consider is like for the captaincy of the St. Louis Blues, who best represents being a Blue? Who eats the fucking pucks in the final seconds of the game? Who puts their body on the line? Like a real blue collar play. My cat just fell in this cubby. A real blue collar hockey player.
I could
And
tell
that's
you who.
where Jake Neighbors.
I have a little bit. I don't know if it's a hot take. I know Jake Neighbors is probably one of the, or not one of. He is one of the favorites,
Dalibor
along with
Dvorsky.
Pareko and Thomas. No, it's not Dalibor. I don't see that vision with him yet.
Alexei Toropchenko.
No, I was gonna give it to Drouin, but we're trading him, so we'll just give it to
Oh!
we'll give it to Lindstein. We'll give the seat on Lindstein. No, I'm not far off of Lindstein though. I think if the Blues decide not to name a captain this year, nor the year after, and I think I might have mentioned this to you before, I think it could be Philip Broberg. That dude eats pucks, plays minutes.
He does, and that would
He's
be
such a good player.
That would be a phenomenal pick there, and I respect that, Mr. Ben Gallen, Mr. Lotion Boy.
I don't know if I really like that nickname. Could we like find something else? Or...
Okay, Mr. Masturbator.
No. Oh my gosh.
Hey,
well,
none of that. Oh, sorry, Boo.
Well, we talked a little bit about.
Hey.
Oh
hey,
man, the cats are not listening to Nikko today.
Well, this one is a little fucking shit. She's literally, she's got more energy than Dokes did as a kitten. It doesn't make sense.
Huh.
Like somehow she's more fuck ass than my first cat, which I don't.
Huh. That's funny. But anyways, as we approach the 33-minute mark of this episode, we talked a little bit about grading the players of the St. Louis Blues. We talked about the centers, and I think this would be a good time to also grade the wingers as we go into the second phase of grading players. But before we go into the wingers, we did forget one player to grade, and that was Nick Bukestad, who was signed to a 1-year deal in the, or was it a 1-year or 2-year deal? I think it might have been a 2-year.
I forget honestly, but give him a D-.
You don't like Bukestad?
Oh, it's just like my biggest thing is like he got hurt, which was a hit. I just feel like there's nothing that stood out with him. Honestly, there was nothing that really popped and said, "Wow, this is great! What a great signing!" It was just like, okay, well, we let Radek Fakso walk, and this is his replacement. And that fourth line after getting Bukestad like took a dive. Took a big dive. So it's just like that's where it's D minus just because it's just based off expectations. It's tough. I know a fourth line role is really just like who gives a fuck, but like when you saw the WTF line last year, especially in playoff time against Winnipeg, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah. And it wasn't like that's a solid fourth line. That was a go-to line for Jim Montgomery heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, it was.
But Yeah, I have to agree. It was definitely a little disappointing. I mean, I didn't really expect much from Bukestad, but definitely give him a D uh, for his performance. Offensively, he was like meh. I mean, didn't
Yeah.
really get a ton of minutes as well as he kept getting scratched um, from a bunch of games once Sundquist was finally healthy as well as him getting injured. But that, and I mean, he played solid on the PK, great on the face-off dot, especially in overtime. Would win the face-off and then just skate off the ice. Imagine getting your number called, be like, okay, you're gonna go on the face-off, and then as soon as you're done, you're gonna come off the ice because you're not that good.
Yeah.
That must have to suck.
Hey, but you know what? He's a role guy.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of a role guy, um, who was supposed to be a 30 or 40 goal scorer, we're gonna be grading Jordan Kyrou. What would you give him?
C plus.
Wow.
I mean, though it still was a lackluster season, he did turn it up in the end. Like I think he got. Let me look up the stats because I think he got close to 20 goals.
Yeah, he did.
And he was not playing like his line mates are butt. Like I really don't think this is Jordan Kyrou's fault. So Jordan Kyrou had 18 goals, 28 assists, 46 points for the St. Louis Blues in 72 games played. Only 2 points back from Pavel Buchnevich, who played 81, so 9 more games. Um, he was still fifth on the team in points. Missed a good chunk. Almost hit 20 goals. Playing with idiots. Like it's just like it's tough to give him a bad grade when like it, besides that first line, everything was juggled, and still he ended up producing a little bit. So I'm gonna give him a little bit of slack. Only 8 penalty minutes to this entire season. Look at that.
Yeah, really, really good for him. I mean, he was averaging like 20, so I mean, he's staying disciplined. Um, but yeah, I think I'm more on the lines of a D plus for Kyrou. Um, no, I'll give him a C minus. I do agree that you know, he was playing with bad line mates, and um, while that can have some effect, you still got to produce. I mean, you have to adapt to the circumstances, and he just didn't this season. Um, I know he's playing with Dvorsky. He was playing with Shen and Holloway at one point, and that line seemed to be doing pretty solid, and then it just kind of didn't. Um,
Yeah.
just barely missed the 50-point mark. The expected stats are still great for those who are into like the expected stats. Uh, for players, like the expected goals for was 59%, which was higher than what it was last season at 52%, and he scored a near career high, or one behind his career high at 36. So yeah, I don't know. It was a little disappointing from Kyrie this season.
That's understandable too, and it's just like he was alongside of everyone's first half of the season. It's just I don't want to hate on him too much because I still think he's a really good player and he did some good things. Like he is actually a lot more reliable than you think, but um I think he had a great back half. He bounced back hella in the back half, so that makes me happy. Next on the list, Ben. Hit it up, hit it up.
We got Pavel Buchnevich.
Uh
Yeah, I don't really know what you would give him on this one.
a D minus. 20 goals for Buchnevich. He also stepped up back half of the season. And he had some highlights. If he didn't have that back half at all, this is an F, to be completely honest. But he
Yeah,
still ended up finding 20 goals, 28 points, 28 assists, 48 points total, and it ended up not being as bad as what I thought it would be. A little bit above half a point per game, but for $8 million, that's tough. I expected a little bit more, but maybe next season. Everyone was just down this year. It feels like so. Hopefully next season they kind of piece everything together. So C
yeah.
minus is what I'd go.
C minus.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Okay.
think that's fair.
I think I'm gonna give him a D plus, which I think will just kind of round that to a C minus. Um, I don't know. He's so slow. Like he really just I don't know. His game just doesn't look appealing to me at all. He's an okay playmaker. He's actually a solid playmaker when when he's on, but yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really like his play this season, although, as you mentioned, he was just a little bit below half a point per game,
Yeah.
or a little bit above rather.
So D plus and C minus for Pavel Buchnavich.
Next up, we got the newly extended Dylan Holloway.
A. I know at first I said no one on this team deserves an A, but 22 goals, 29 assists, 51 points. Only 59 games played, almost a point per game. Plus 13. It's just yeah. A for Holloway. Speed Demon. I think he could easily be a point per game player in the National Hockey League. He's disgusting. Great hands, great skill, very creative. I mean, like something that comes to mind is like I don't think there's a single player on this team, maybe besides Jordan Kyrou, that does that overtime goal against San Jose where he's coming down the side and backhand roofs
I
it.
was there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the Blues don't have anyone that's like that, and Dylan Holloway is, and it's really nice and refreshing. So Holloway's an A for me. That's a no-brainer. Eh?
I think for me, I'm more so on the fence of whether I give him a B plus or A minus. Although it was a fluke injury that he had this season, I just think I don't know, it's just really tough because that's another near or over 20 games, like 23 games that he missed.
Yeah.
So who knows what would happen in those 23 games? I think I'll give him an A minus. Again, like you said, there's really no one on this team that has the speed that Holloway has, besides Kyrou. I mean, that's really the two players that come to mind when I think of speed on this team. His shot is just unreal, like such a smooth and quick release, and also just such an underrated playmaker too. Very fun vibes that he brings to the team. I think A minus is a fair assumption for that, and I definitely think A is solid. They're a good rating too. It's just for me, I think the injury portion of like his season takes a little bit out for me. Again, like I said, I know it was a fluke injury, but it is what it is. Next up, we got the future captain Jake Neighbors.
Neighbors is. I'm gonna give him a C minus.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I would like to see a little bit more from Neighbors. It's just the biggest thing I'm looking at is 43 penalty minutes. 43 penalty minutes. Like 43 pins, bro. 15 goals is all right. I do view Neighbors as that 20 goal scorer consistently. Okay, I like C plus. I'll do C plus because he only played 69 games. Yeah. And again, same thing with Kyrou. It's just like that's another guy who just couldn't get settled on a line. And he just moved around and he made do. I think Jake Neighbors is pretty consistently like a 50 point score. Maybe 20 to 25 goals, 25 to 30 assists, right? I think he's a great player, and he was kind of on pace for that a little bit, maybe a little bit short. So C plus is good. I feel like just get those PIMs down. I'm actually curious how many of those are fights, to be honest, because I wasn't thinking about that at first. But yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. Yeah, C plus, C or C plus. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think, Ben?
I give him a B minus. His game is always just being physical, and the fact that he recorded over a point per game this season, although not being able to find a stable line mate, and him, already not being a point producer. Um, I mean, like him being a half a point per game, considering what the team went through or the forward
Yeah,
group
yeah,
went through in terms of juggling the lines. I think that's outstanding.
yeah.
Like that easily could have been, a quarter of a point per game. Like with the juggling of the lines. Um, he
No,
just
that's
always
fair. I
plays
respect that.
physical, as well as uh, being healthy for a majority of the season, missed a little bit of time. Um, I think I'm either B or B minus. Flip a coin, honestly. Like it was a solid season. Um, I like the way that he kind of turned his season around when Shen was traded, just because of how close him and Shen are. Uh, Almost like a big brother, little brother situation there. But I'll go B minus. Um, yeah, B minus for Neighbors.
I respect that. Yeah, I like that. I respect that. I respect that, sir. Sir, I respect that. Who's next?
I think he respects that. Um,
No.
Next up, we have the fifth in Calder voting, Jimmy Snuggerud.
Uh, for a rookie year, A plus. A plus. He started producing, started the season with Shen and Suter. I found the back of the net. It was great. I remember his first. I think he scored 2 or maybe 1 against Vancouver in like the third or fourth game of the season. Um, and then he got hurt for a little bit, and then he comes back and he was lights out. He as a rookie at 22 years old, this dude or 21, or however the fuck old he is, he comes on the first line. He pots 21 goals, 30 assists, 51 points in 70 games played, plus 16, 5 power play goals. I think he had the most power play goals on the team. Besides,
With 5.
actually, you know who tied him is Dalibor Dvorsky for power play goals this
Shout
season
out Devo.
at 5. Um, but yeah, Jimmy Snuggerud. This was what was he was? What'd you say? Was he 4th in Calder voting?
5th.
5th? I mean, still, who was ahead of him? Dobesh, I think it was. Maybe
It
below
would have
him.
been It would have been Schaefer, Seneca, um,
Demidov,
Demidov, Dobesh.
Dobesh, and so yeah, like I mean, 21 goals. I think it ended up being the same amount of goals as Demidov, who's 3rd. Demidov played a hell of a lot more games, and that Montreal team is really well built and had more apples. But yeah, Jimmy had such a great, such a great season, and he like is only going to get better. This is someone I'm really excited to see in the future. He is someone I'm genuinely really excited to see together. Really so excited. But
I
Ben,
think
what do you
he's
think?
really excited. Yeah, no, it's an A plus. Um, man, so for his point per game total, it was a .73 for him playing 70 total games. It's just unreal for him to come back after the surgery he had and play the way that he did. Um, man, I'm just so ecstatic about him in the future. As you mentioned, him with Thomas and Holloway made such a great line this year, especially in the back half of the season. And defensively, I don't know about you, but I didn't really see like any major holes in his game. Like
There wasn't
you
much.
didn't really notice anything defensively. And he's also not afraid to go in the corners. He's a very
Yeah.
physical guy for scoring, could eventually be, a 30, 40 goal scorer. So elite
It,
wrister,
it was yeah.
almost gives you goosebumps, doesn't it?
I actually have Ben's signature lotion at my desk, and I'm using it right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, you don't.
yeah. Say yeah like that.
No.
Yeah, like that.
Okay. A plus for Holloway. Next up on the list, we have the waiver claim in future RFA, Jonathan Berggren.
B for sure. B, Berggren has a lot of speed. He has good skill. Great third line winger. I was fairly impressed. I want to extend him. I want to keep him with the team. Let me look up. 51 games played, only 8 goals, 14 assists, 22 points. But I just feel like the skill and everything is there. And age frame, he fits the roster really well. It doesn't help when you're playing with Delver. You're playing with a very inexperienced center, and then you're bouncing around that other winger. You have Otto Stenberg. That's a very inexperienced third line, or Jake Neighbors, which will help a little bit, but I don't think that fuses well. But Berggren, I think, is really good, and I'm pretty sure his underlying numbers are also really good as well. So that's a good B for me. I really liked Berggren's game. I really liked it.
Yeah, absolutely. Similar to what you said, just kind of like piggyback off of that. Yeah, played with a ton of speed and intensity. Underrated playmaker. I don't know why Detroit put him on waivers. I think that's probably one of the silliest decisions they could have had. Um, he's a young forward, and for Detroit, like I know they have a lot of forwards coming out through their system, but I guess I just didn't really expect them to do anything like that. But for only playing 36 games with the Blues, almost average a half a point per game, which is very stellar for getting third line minutes. So, if he can keep that kind of production up throughout his time with the Blues, depending on what they want to do with him, I think that's definitely a win for the Blues and definitely someone you want to have on your bottom six for years to come.
Yeah, I agree. Next.
Next up, we have from Australia, Nathan Walker. Here, can I say what I was gonna give him?
Yeah.
F.
Really?
I like Nathan Walker. I want to like Nathan Walker, but it was just I didn't like anything about his game this year. His line was always getting pummeled. He just didn't play. It didn't seem like he played with the same intensity that he did in the season prior, and especially with
for
him.
You then.
Yeah,
I'm gonna cut you off. Question for you. What are you giving Torpchenko?
well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I just I didn't really like the way Walker played this year. He kept getting scratched because of his play, and rightfully so. I mean, it was pretty. I think everyone thought it was set in stone that it was going to be Torpo, Sonny, Walker, the fourth line going into the season, or Torpo, Bukestad, Walker, whatever you want to mix in the last two centers, and it just didn't stick. And it got to the point where Walker just wasn't even playing. So
yeah, I respect the F, and I would give him an F. It's just he did have the same amount of points as Torcheco in like 20 less games, so he'll get a D. I'll give him a D there. Walker, I feel like still has a motor. I just again with anything outside of the first line, it's tough to piece together like a line for this team. So, yeah, Walker's a D. Walker's a D. I mean, it's just nothing stood out. But I mean, he's a grinder. But I agree with you about him taking a step back this season.
yeah, and it's not to say that he was supposed to be this 40 goal scorer or anything. I didn't think there was any high expectations, but considering what work the WTF line did last year, or I guess in the 24-25 season, you kind of expected that same intensity and same drive from that fourth line, and it just wasn't even there from any of them, to be honest. So I think the ratings of D and F are very fair. Very not so good season for him.
Next.
We got Matthew Joseph.
Oh my god, I forgot F.
Really? Yeah.
Okay, well, here's the thing. He did get like his contract terminated. I just think that's just an F. I liked Matthew Joseph. I was a big Matthew Joseph guy.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
a huge Matthew Joseph guy. I still think he's good. I think if you kept him instead of like Walker or something, like I think that's good. But I personally think he's a third line guy, and he'll find his way somewhere. So that's an F, unfortunately. I mean, it's just like how can I not give you anything more when you got your contract terminated?
Yeah, I think that's very fair. Yeah, F here, same. I mean, it's very hard to give a player a grade higher than an F when you're so. And this is no knock on Matthew Joseph because he's a professional hockey player making millions. Well, maybe not millions, but definitely a millionaire. Um, but it was just so mid. Like he looked very good within like the first 10, 15 games of the season with the Blues.
Yeah.
Uh, but besides that, it just kind of fell off. So F is the grade for Matthew Joseph. As we approach the final two names, I'll have you pick a number 1 or 2.
2.
2, Alexei Torpchenko.
F.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not gonna do
Next.
that. I'm gonna go D for Toropchenko because the motor's there. So effort, I feel like for Toropchenko's always there. I think he makes boneheaded decisions. Yeah, but he also does put his body on the line and everything, and he's fast. But he's just like he only goes straight fast. So
Yeah.
that's a D for me, honestly.
Yeah.
D.
I'm gonna
D
give him a
minus.
D minus. Yeah.
Yeah, I respect that.
Like I get your point about Walker. Um, did he have more points than Toropchenko, or he had half the points of Toropchenko in less than 20 games?
Okay, so Walker in 46 games played had 4 goals, 7 assists for 11 points. Toropchenko in 65 games played had 4 goals, 7 assists for 11 points.
Yikes.
Both of them had 28 penalty minutes, and Nathan Walker's -9 and Toropchenko's -11.
That's crazy.
But Nathan Walker did score 1 game-winning goal, as Toropchenko scored 1 shorthanded goal.
Yeah, I still think D minus. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna give him an F. If I give Nathan Walker an F, I think it's only fair that I do the same for Toropchenko, considering that I was dogging on Walker.
Yeah, that's fair. F.
So you said D minus
Yeah.
or D. I said
Yeah.
F. We'll just average that out to a D minus.
All right.
Last forward to talk about before we talk about the defenseman in the next episode. Robbie Fabry, waiver claim / signing that we made.
C minus. I don't know how many points he had, but I feel like he brought a lot of skill. He brought a lot of speed, which is something I feel like during the time the Blues were lacking. He did generate some scoring opportunities. I thought he played well. I'm actually kind of surprised that he didn't crack the roster like longer term. But I also understand like there's a lot of players to fight over in a roster spot. So it was weird. I liked Fabry's game though. Whenever I watched, that was the time period where I was working a little bit too much, so I didn't watch a lot. But whenever I saw him, like it was good, and he scored like some good goals. Like the Blues, I feel like are mostly ugly, dumb goals. Like
he only scored 1 goal, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
he had 4 points in 15 games.
That's not. I guess that's not terrible. I mean, he could have. I don't know. When I watched him, I liked him. I think I saw his only goal because his only goal was sick or something.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool like homecoming goal for him.
Well, then C minus.
Back in St. Louis.
C minus.
Yeah, I'll give him a D plus, and I think, like, I don't know, I expected him to be with the team a little bit longer than what he was with the team. Like, I thought he was going to fill in that role for Walker because Walker kept getting scratched at that time, and that was also the time where the team was just going through so many injuries. It's like, when are they going to give Kaskamaki the full-time job, being a fourth liner and just move up Toropchenko and Walker? Well, I guess Walker was injured too, actually. He was injured for like 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, he died.
At one point. Yeah. But, yeah, I will give him a D+. So we'll just average that out to a C-. But yeah, those are all the forwards. Done. We did the centers, and now we did the wingers. All that's left is defensemen and goaltenders. But yeah. So as we cannot speak, as we approach the final couple minutes of this podcast, is there anything else you'd like to add to today's conversation?
No, I think we went over some good stuff, and it's nice to get those player grades done.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, I think that'll do it from the both of us. I know we're both kind of tired. I know Nico worked a lot today.
Yeah, and you got to get up early.
Yep. Got to get up within like the next less than 5 hours. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the STLEmpire Podcast. Make sure to follow the Instagram at STLEmpire. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow us on our Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But anyways, I think that'll do it from us.
My name is Ben, and he is Nico, and we are out.
Bye.